And in 1999, SpongeBob is airing season 1, episode 6, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy and Pickles. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, the SpongeBob Patrick visit a retirement home. And then in Pickles, SpongeBob loses his confidence. Aw.
I mean, Mermaid and Barnacle Boy, Steve, we get cameos from two comedy straight legends who
Yeah.
I would think would even balk at doing some sort of shit like this, especially this late in their life.
Yeah, that adds to their legacy, man. And have we hit the Ernest Borgnine sweet spot? You know, that's why I don't want to use sweet spot. I want to come up with another term because saying we hit Ernest Borgnine sweet spot, you know, just
Yeah, I don't even think he'd like that, Steve, in absentia. So we'll work on that. We'll work on the wording on it. But yeah, Steve, like right when this opens up, we get to meet these characters, Mermaid and Barnacle Boy. SpongeBob and Patrick are watching the show on TV, and it appears to be like the Adam West Batman of the
yeah,
SpongeBob era. Let's put it like
pretty
that.
much. To them, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy is like how Bart Simpson is with Krusty the Clown. They're just gooing all over this. Like, oh my God, bring this show back. Where are these guys?
Merman Man is probably out there just swinging dick. But they go outside. They decide to do a little cosplay. And coincidentally enough, their neighbor Squidward's out there. So he's in the thing now, and he's Reflecto, Steve. He doesn't know it. He doesn't give a fuck about it, but he's the guy.
He's their arch nemesis. So they got to do their due diligence. They hone in on Squidward and they get geeked up for action. They send a jellyfish his way and it basically blocks his sunlight. Then it destroys his tent. Squidward's not getting any sunlight. So they run back in the house before he even gets to do anything. They're just like, what do you want?
They fuck the vibe up. He's out there just trying to get some sun, right? And they're fucking with him. So he starts getting pissed off. He's like, look, guys, and they run away before he can say anything. But he goes up to their house that they're hiding in. And he's like, guys, what the fuck is going on here? What are you doing? And they tell him about Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. And he's like, hey, you guys realize that they actually live in this town. Those people are real. They live here in the retirement home. SpongeBob and Patrick are like, dude, they're fucking living here? Thinking that, like, the guys they watch on TV, they're just chilling at the retirement home, Steve.
So they head to Shady Show's retirement home. It's just like, dude, I know Mermaid Man is undercover working on a case. Wait, what are you talking about? So they send them back to where they are and they're watching TV. They're just like wetting their pants, like, oh my God, it's really them. Like, oh,
Got the suit on. They still wearing the gear, Steve. But even the guy that's working the desk is like, just don't. He's, they're all excited. He's like, they're right here. Just don't yell too much, or he might get a little too excited. He might shit himself.
and they ask, like, what do you want? Are you Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy? Yeah, we used to be, but we're retired. But hold up, there's evil afoot. Evil?
PTSD, Steve. Mermaid Man's dealing with some shit. He definitely goes back into some darker days. And just so we know who the cameos we're talking about, so we say them out loud, Mermaid Man is played by Ernest Borgnine, and Barnacle Boy is played by Tim Conway. And this is actually sort of alluding to a show they did together called McHale's Navy. In that, they kind of have reverse roles. So in this one, Borgnine's the boss guy. He's like Aquaman, basically. And Barnacle Boy's his ward, Steve. So evil's afoot, and Mermaid Man still's got the reflex to go crazy, but now he's an old man, so he just like goes into his dementia attack. And then SpongeBob and Patrick are kicked out of the place because basically they're just going in here and fucking with the elderly.
And Patrick, he feels a certain way. He's kind of crushed. He's like, it's too bad they're old. But SpongeBob, Mr. Positivity, it's like old people are the greatest. They're full of wisdom and experience.
They're the greatest generation. And then actually, Steve, we get a cool cut to just a regular guy who I thought was Captain Steubing from The Love Boat. But if you caught it, that guy who had the captain's hat on, the white dude who gives the thumbs up, I think he's a security guard at Nickelodeon. So I thought that was just a fun little fact that I could throw in there. His name's Don Newhouse. So fun fact. I think Don, hopefully he's still with us. He appeared on some other Nickelodeon shows in the early aughts. After that, we cut back to the retirement home. Basically, SpongeBob's just there to stare. He's talked enough, and now it's just getting creepier. He's just watching.
I guess they think he's a TV repairman. He's like, nah, yeah, sure. You remember the time when you had that ray gun and you made everything 6 feet taller? You guys were the greatest heroes of all time.
Yeah, but he's basically Farley showing these guys. Mermaid Man loses it again. Maybe he says evil again, but Mermaid has another PTSD incident, and SpongeBob gets kicked out. So then we cut to the next day. Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy, they're just living that old lifestyle that I can't wait to be in, where rocking in a rocking chair's that's everything. They're just having a fun little time, Steve.
SpongeBob, he shows up in a dress, and Patrick, he's dressed like a burglar, and he takes his purse.
False flag. Yeah, they're just trying to get heroes out of this. But Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, they're just not about that lifestyle. But what happens is SpongeBob actually succeeds in getting these guys out of retirement because they get so annoyed that they unite to kick the living shit out of SpongeBob and Patrick.
They painted their invisible boat black. It's like now people can see it. They're not supposed to see it. It's an invisible boat.
Mermaid Man's throwing water balls at SpongeBob, which do nothing to a sponge. And even he's it's like he's made of some spongy material that's absorbing all this water. But eventually, you know, Mermaid Man's basically Aquaman. So even if the raging whirlpool does nothing to affect Patrick and SpongeBob, when he calls all of the elderly fish in the sea over to him to help,
Yeah.
they eventually can at least rush SpongeBob and Patrick and toss them out like Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, Steve. They
Yeah.
get tossed. But I do like they're elderly, and the only fish that show up are just like, oh, God, my gills hurt.
We did it, you old kook. We cut to the actual show. We see Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy playing checkers.
It's the new adventures of Mermaid
Yeah.
Man and Barnacle Boy, Steve, and they are playing checkers.
Yeah.
And then somebody calls them for a new mission, but they can't hear anything. They think the phone's all fucked up, so they just hang up. Who is this?
You know who you remind me of? Remind you of what? Remind me of who?
I miss my wife. She was an octopus.
Yeah, I mean, they enjoyed this reboot like we enjoyed the Naked Gun reboot.
Yeah, dude. Shout out to some old heroes, dude. And shout out to Ernest Borgnine and Tim Conway for just doing some fun shit when they were old men. That's awesome.
Tim Conway's a fellow BGSU alum too. A Ziggy Zumba.
I love that. That's a weird one too. Tim Conway, because I mean, he was just he was too old for our generation to really appreciate that, you know?
Yeah, man. The next vignette is Pickles. And we see Squidward at Krusty Krab. The guy, he can't decide what he wants to eat. He's just like, all right, Krabby Patty with extra onions. SpongeBob, of course, is on it without even looking. This is like second nature to him at this point. He even has Krabby Patty sliders on deck.
He's like a machine, Steve. He's sitting there like making Scooby Doo sandwiches out of these Krabby Patties, and he's a one man wrecking crew. If they lose SpongeBob, they have nothing else. Nobody else knows how to cook like this dude. But that confidence is about to get shaken a little bit because this fucking like fat dude named Bubble Bass walks
Bubble
in.
Bass. Yeah.
He's got a little swagger to him. I don't know if he's like the food review person or if he's there as like the local shit talker, but he's like, word on the street is you say you cook the best burger in town or whatever. SpongeBob's like, yeah, you want a Krabby Patty? Makes it. Bubble Bass. I can't ever say it right. He takes a bite. He's like, this shit's pretty good, but you forgot the fucking pickles, you bitch. The best there is. Mr. Krabs, the owner, he even lost $2 because he had that much confidence. He's like, SpongeBob, you can't mess this up. This starts rocking him, and SpongeBob tries to get like back on the grill, but the fact that he forgot it, he's rattled, Steve.
He shook. He lost his mojo. And now he even puts a shoe in there, put some peanut butter and jelly in there, a ham sandwich. And it's like, no, dude, Mr. Krabs, he sees this. He's like, dude, you know what? Why don't you just take a day off and I'll have Squidward replace you?
Yeah, but even SpongeBob is so out of sorts, he can't even remember the directions to get home. It's all fucked up. I'd actually maybe see if he could get some psychologically counseled stuff going on because he seems out of sorts. But I guess Squidward can man the for one day. So back at SpongeBob's house, he's just sitting there like, all right, you did this before, dude. Krabby Patty. Burger, pickle, bun, cheese. Wait, That doesn't work. So he's going through the combos and he's just not clicking, Steve.
It's wearing him down. And he even forgot how to sleep.
Yeah, he can't even make the bed, Steve. SpongeBob sheets mattress? That doesn't work. He's going through it, Steve.
The next day hits, dude's got a 5 o'clock shadow and everything. He forgot how to turn off the alarm. So he's like, hey, Gary.
Gary's not happy about it, but other people that aren't happy are people that are going to the Krabby Patty restaurant because Squidward's cooking, Steve, it ain't great. It's not great at all. He's burning the fuck out of the Krabby Patties. Shit's just not good, right? He's even throwing some crazy disrespect at some fat fucking people. They're like, I don't know. And he's like, well, what are you going to get? A salad?
Yeah.
It's like, is this fucking Dick's Last Resort? What is this?
Yeah, the sarcasm I love. Then Mr. Krabs is like, I gotta get SpongeBob back. So he actually shows up to SpongeBob's house and the place is a mess. Then he sees SpongeBob with underwear on his head. It's like, dude, what the fuck is going on with you?
He's
Like,
nailing
dude,
sandwiches to the wall, Steve. This is some psychotic shit, honestly.
he's like, dude, we gotta have you back to make these Krabby Patties. Like, how do I do that? Mr. Krab, he pulls out the ingredients and it takes days for SpongeBob to even do a thing. He's still stuck. And then eventually, like Mr. Krabs just falls asleep. But SpongeBob wakes him up like, dude, I can do it. I think I can do it. Oh, I can't do it.
But then it all clicks, Steve, because it's basically like a fucking Karate Kid montage where he's fucking up. But at some point he gets pissed off, and just like the machine clicks back into gear, and he just makes a Krabby Patty off grip like he used to, like the good old days. And at that point, Mr. Krabs like, "You're ready."
And then next scene, he kicks Squidward out like, dude, this is my kitchen, dick nose. And they all see SpongeBob is back, like, yes, dude, our guy, yeah. And as that's going on, Bubble Bash shows up, and now it's a duel. SpongeBob and Bubble Bash, they have a showdown, like, give me a regular this time. Don't forget the pickles.
SpongeBob had a couple of reservations about some shenanigans that might have happened the first time. So he cooks a burger, gives it to Bubble Bass. Once again, Bubble Bass is like, "No fucking pickles, you bitch." And SpongeBob's like sitting there going, "Dude, either I'm crazy or this guy's lying." And SpongeBob walks over, is like, "Wait a second," grabs his tongue, turns off fucking Bubble Bass is stashing pickles under his tongue like some guy's stashing drugs in his ass in prison, Steve.
And from the last time, too, I see those pickles in my car keys.
Yeah, some chick's car keys are in there. What were the previous pickles? What are you doing in there, Bubble Bass?
Yeah.
The fuck? They don't go better. But just proves, Steve, SpongeBob had nothing to worry about in the first place. He's always got it. But I see a little bit of a crack in the foundation here, Steve, where you rattle SpongeBob's confidence. He's like a bad NFL quarterback. He's just going to crumble. Interceptions, pickles are gone. I've seen it 1,000 times.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. Like he's going to hulk up. SpongeBob at some point in the episode is going to.
Gotta make a Krabby Patty. I can't let it slide. I am a real SpongeBob. Yeah, dude, SpongeBob, man. I'd love a fucking nice Krabby Patty. I'm stoned enough. That just sounds delicious right now.
I think Wendy's had a little deal with SpongeBob early. I think last year. You know, it tastes like a burger, like a
Yeah,
Wendy's burger, but they just had like some sponge. It's kind of like the whole. What was the Keenan and Kel movie?
good burger.
Good Burger with Arby's. They did the same thing. It's like, dude, it's a burger. Like, there's no
At least make the Mondo burger where it's fucking insane. You got the meat.
no orange soda. Like, all right, make that
That's
money.
fucked up. You can't. That has to be in the contract. I feel like if I'm Nickelodeon, no orange soda. What the fuck am I doing anyway?
Yeah, just getting that tag just to have a tag.